breaking updates coming in as the Waqf order is currently being read out in the top court. The key Waqf hearing is ongoing in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is all set to pronounce the order. Let's go across to senior news editor Bhavtosh Singh joining us on the broadcast with the details. Bhavtosh, what's happening in the court?
Well, Pratibha, one important order has been given. The hearing is still going on. The bench of Chief Justice of India has just said that it states the provision in the Waqf Amendment Act 2025 that a person should be a practitioner of Islam for 5 years to create a Waqf. The provisions state till the state governments frame rules on determining whether a person is a practitioner of Islam. Now, what has happened as far as the hearing is concerned, this is a very important order that has been given by the court. Now, what the court has said is that it has stated this aspect, and the Union of India has argued, the Solicitor General of India has argued that the Joint Parliamentary Committee had received 97 lakh representation and consulted 25 work boards, and it has said that it has taken wide arguments as far as before presenting the bill in the court. And Sibbil, who appeared before the court, had said that appearing for the petitioner argued that the Waqf Act 2025 is a violative of Article 14, 25 and 26 of the Constitution. Now, Harish, our legal editor, has said that the designated officer making challenges in revenue records permitting the collector to determining rights would be against separation of powers. Until finality, the rights of properties will not be affected. Until the title is not decided, neither Waqf will be disposed of the property. Now, another thing that the Chief Justice of India has said is that we have considered prima facie challenges to each of the sections. We have found that no case was made out to stay entire provision of the statute. However, some section needs some protection. The clause shall be stayed on showing person practicing Islam for 5 years without any mechanism. It will lead to illegality. Now, it appears that Waqf Board Act will not be stayed, but as far as the contentious issue of a person has to be a practicing Muslim or practicing Islam is concerned, that portion has been stayed. The entire order has not come. The order is still being read out. Waqf by user denotification stayed. Waqf by user denotification has been stayed. The bench has said, the bench of Chief Justice has said so. The Chief Justice has also said that we have considered prima facie challenge to each of the sections. We have found that no case was made out to stay entire provisions of statute. However, some sections need some protection. This clause shall be stayed on showing practicing a person practicing Islam for 5 years. So it appears that a person, the Supreme Court has said that a person, the clause that a person practicing Islam, that portion has been stayed. As far as the Waqf Board is concerned, the Waqf Amendment Act is concerned, that has not been stayed. So it's a victory for the centre. But as far as the contentious issue of a person practicing Islam for 5 years, he has to create that clause is concerned. That has been stayed by the Supreme Court. In fact, one of the
प्रोविजन पे स्टे है, साथ ही साथ कि जो सेक्शन प्रोविजन 3C का है उसमें कहा गया है कि जो प्रॉपर्टी है उनको जब तक कि ट्राइब्यूनल का डिटर्मिनेशन हाईकोर्ट के साथ नहीं हो जाता है तब तक उसमें इससे वो स्टे रहेगा, उनको डिस्पोजेस नहीं किया जाएगा, कोई थर्ड पार्टी इंटरेस्ट नहीं क्रिएट होगा। सेक्शन 9 में कहा है कि नॉट मोर देन 4 नॉन मेंबर्स विल बी नॉन मुस्लिम, और सेक्शन 23 में कहा है कि 3 out of 11 in board will not more than 3 will be non-Muslims. सेक्शन 23 को स्टे नहीं किया गया है, लेकिन ये कहा गया है कि ऑल एफर्ट शुड बी मेड टू अपॉइंट CEO फ्रॉम द मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी। बाकी ये बड़ा लंबा जजमेंट लिखा है, इसकी स्टडी करनी पड़ेगी और उस पर फिर ज्यादा अच्छे से हम बता सकेंगे।
How big is the relief is?
The relief is big. We'll have to look at, because the court said that it is Monday and we all have to be in different courts. So court said that we are not pronouncing it the whole judgment. They have said it's a long judgment. We'll have to read. But जितना अभी तक बताया है उसमें थोड़ा सा हमें डिसअपॉइंटमेंट इसका है कि रजिस्ट्रेशन वाला स्टे नहीं किया, लेकिन उसमें टाइम लिमिट बढ़ा दी गई है। तो हमें उम्मीद है कि अभी हम जब पढ़ेंगे तो उसमें और भी चीजों पे हमारे सामने जाहिर होगा कि इसमें क्या क्या है इस ऑर्डर में।
प्रैक्टिसिंग मुस्लिम वाला जो प्रावधान था उस पर क्या,
उस पर स्टे कर दिया गया है।
और
नॉट द कंप्लीट एक्ट, सर्टेन प्रोविजंस हैव बीन स्टेड। नॉन मुस्लिम मेंबर्स पे ये कहा है कि उसमें आपके बोर्ड में 3 से ज्यादा नहीं रह सकते और उसमें सेक्शन 9 के हिसाब से 4 से ज्यादा नहीं रह सकते नॉन मुस्लिम मेंबर्स।
एक तरह से ओवरऑल जो आप लोग की मांग थी उसे पूरी मान लिया।
काफी हद तक बैलेंस्ड ऑर्डर है जहां तक हमें लग रहा है। अभी हमें इसे डिटेल में पढ़ना पड़ेगा, तब हमें ज्यादा बेहतर आइडिया होगा।
In fact, this is Pratibha. This is one of the lawyers who had appeared in the Supreme Court. He said it's a very detailed order. We have to read each and every portion of this order when it becomes public. But he has said that one of the points that was there in the Waqf Amendment Act, that a person has to be a practicing Muslim for 5 years. That portion has been stayed. Otherwise, the act itself has not been stayed. So it's a victory for the centre. But one of the points that were raised by several parties, opposition parties, that the insertion of the insertion that a person has to be practicing Muslim for 5 years before he can create Waqf, that has been stayed by the Supreme Court. But one has to first get the copy of the detailed order before one can comment on this entire thing. That's what the lawyer has said. The order was just given by the bench of the Chief Justice of India. Back to you.
Okay, all right. So, Bhavtosh, what next now? Because the CJI has said that the law is presumed constitutional, but it has also gone on to say that Waqf by user denotification has been stayed. You mentioned that many of the petitioners are also calling it a balanced order for the centre as well. It's not a huge setback. But what next? Because some provisions of the Waqf law have been stayed by the Supreme Court.
Well, some of the provisions have been stayed, but as one of the lawyers said, that one has to first read this order before they can give a detailed bite or one can comment on it. What the Supreme Court has said, that too much power given to the collector, that has also been stayed, because many of the opposition parties and individuals who had approached the Supreme Court have said that there has been complete centralization as far as the power is concerned. They had also said property will not cease to be Waqf when collector is inquiring. Opposition parties, including that of Owaisi, had said that there is too much interference by the bureaucrats. So the order that was given by the Chief Justice of India, he has said that too much power has been given to collector. That has been stayed. A property will not cease to be Waqf when collector is inquiring. So whenever there would be inquiry by the magistrate, or for that matter by the deputy collector, that has been stayed. CJI has said that we are not staying the entire statute. So victory for the centre, because the statute itself is not being stayed. The Chief Justice of India has also said that we have held that the presumption is always in favour of the constitutionality of the statute, and intervention only in rarest of rare cases. The CJI has also said that we have stayed only part of the statute. So there are several, in fact, lawyers who have argued. They are coming to the court. We will try speaking to them.
नहीं यार आगे मत जाना, वहाँ कहाँ लेगा यार, इतना पीछे यार।
Okay, all right. We'll go back to Bhavtosh in just a moment. Lawyers now will speak to the media regarding what the Supreme Court has said. But the Supreme Court has upheld the need to register the Waqf property. So that is a win for the centre. There are certain sections of the Act that have been stopped by the Supreme Court or stayed by the Supreme Court. There are, in fact, 3 provisions that have been stayed, including excessive powers being given to the officials. So the CJI also saying that the entire statute in itself is not being stayed. Waqf by user, that denotification has been stayed. So as of now, a detailed look at what the Supreme Court has said, but Waqf by user denotification has been stayed. Remember, this was one of the issues that the opposition had raised as well, one of the issues that the opposition had spoken about and had approached the Supreme Court regarding. So that particular denotification has been stayed by the Supreme Court, but it has also spoken in favor of registering the Waqf properties. We continue getting you these updates from the Supreme Court. A big day, because remember, the Waqf Act was mired in a lot of controversy, with the opposition also saying that this was biased against Muslims. The Supreme Court has also extended its support or given some relief to the centre on that matter. We get you all the details and break down the details of the Supreme Court. Quick break. We'll be right back.